Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Reborn from Legit doing an Urgoz run, making a guide tutorial on Urgoz tanking. Full commentary the whole route. So I won't give you much info as far as gear goes. All I'm going to say is just have a staff ready for whenever you need energy. Have a bow with enchantment 20% for pulling the first group. Usually is the only one I use it for. And then a spear shield set for 90% of the other run. All right, so we just started. So, got to go offline. Perfect. Okay, that way people don't message me. All right, so first things first, as a tank, you need to immediately rush in, use dash, if you use the build I put in the description, to pop all the serpents. These, well, I call them serpents, but also the stealers, the thought stealers, and the vampires. We need to go ahead and aggro all of them and bring it back. Ensure you have a concept before you go in, otherwise you'll walk slow. Now, for this run, you are going to need a minimum of a cupcake. I use candy corn and apples, it just makes it a little easier, but a minimum of an apple, I mean, a cupcake will work for this. All right, so now that we got everything up, you ensure you got your bonds up from the bonder. So I'm going to go ahead and run up. See how the enemies on the left and right are going in? I'm walking back. I'm waiting for them to go to the middle. They're about to touch the middle. All right, now that they touch the middle, I use my bow in the three groups. There's a group in the middle, and there's a group on the left and right side. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all three groups back. Now that I got my bow and I aggroed them, I always draw lines, that way the team knows, but we have a pretty good team. Hopefully this is a good quick run. Right, I'm going to go ahead and keep walking backwards, usually about right here. You see where this gateway is? All right, now they're going to spike. So you type spike. I'm getting dissied right now. So if I die, that's because of disenchantment. The way you saw me rush in there, I can't talk and explain at the same time, some of it, but the reason I rushed in there and death charge so fast is because of these seers where I'm calling target now. They pop a disenchantment, Spirit of Disenchantment, which takes out all of your enchantments with every within 5 seconds. So you have to pretty much swiftly death charge in whenever you go in for the first few groups. So the first group is usually pretty rough for new people. So now that we got that one spiked in, I went around there and death charge back for that first group. All right, next part. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring in the next group. I cast some of my enchantments prior to going in. The bonder had to rebond me, so I waited on him. I usually recall the bonder pretty much full time the whole run. I mean, it helps with an extra enchantment for shadow form. It's not required or needed if you feel confident, but if you ever mess up, fail, or get interrupted, then I would recommend it. So see how I have a disenchantment I just targeted that's trying to kill me right now. All right, I need to get out of there, otherwise it might kill me. So basically, you saw how I ran all the way to the back, and the two groups on the left and right, they ran in towards me. That's how you're supposed to do it. You get the hang of it. It looks scary at first, but the biggest thing is ensuring you know where your disenchantment spirit is at all times. Now that I death charged in, you got to ensure you have Armor of Earth up 24/7. All the skills you have, you maintain pretty much 90% of the run outside of when you're moving in between groups. So we're doing really good spikes. We have 3 derps, so that's to be expected, and a great EOE for managing that. So if you have a good damage team, good monks and a bonder always up front when you run up, then you really don't have any issue as far as tanking when it comes to you worrying about are you going to get healed, are you going to have good spikers or not. All right, now that we got that area cleared, you got one more group to worry about for these disenchantments. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and teach the safe way that I've always done it. The faster way would have been me already going in, but instead I'm going to actually wait for this group to get about right here. See how they're going to go in? All right, they went to the left. So what I do is I death charge and then I tab 3 or 4 times. And that means when I hit tab 3 or 4 times, it went ahead and made me uh, target one of the enemies downstairs, one of those groups. So now that I host off of them, Heart of Shadow off of them, as you saw earlier, now I'm able to call target just like that. That's pretty, it looks easy in video, but when you do it, it's kind of hard. So I have EOE up and they're able to spike now. Perfect. So that's the way it goes. It looks easy. We have a good damage team to do it, but you have to keep moving and you want to ensure the team got down to the left area before you go prior to aggroing. Otherwise, the disenchantment would be right where I'm standing currently. All right, quick trick. I have Bart targeted at the hill. I just hard a shadow down the hill just like that. So that's another tip if you want to become more advanced with your skills. So the enemies got aggroed with the party. It's okay, just let them go. So I just typed kill aggro since it's already aggroed. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest. But let's just say that group wasn't aggroed. Pretend that group wasn't aggroed. So here's what you do. You walk backwards until this group spawns. The second this group spawns, you go the other way. The reason I walk backwards is because I have a cupcake. If you don't have Armor of Earth up, which I didn't at the time, then you got to cast it and walk backwards before you can run forward. Always maintain Armor of Earth. The only time you don't run it is when you're in the midst of running between groups. That's if it goes out, then you can use it once you're in. I'll be right back. Let me grab some water while they kill these. I'm going to be talking a lot, so let me get some water and take about a 20-second break while they clear this anyway. Okay, I'm back. Sorry if y'all heard that. I had to get some water real quick, clear my throat. All right, let me go ahead and get back in. So right now I'm going to go ahead and recall the bonder now that I have passed the disenchantment area. I usually don't like to recall the disenchantment area because there is a time where it will get recalled out from Dissy. So now all I do here is go left or right. You decide where. You kind of target where you think they're going to be grouped up. Then you need to find a thorn. I found a thorn, and then death charge in the middle. So now that I got a death charge in the middle, you see all the groups are grouped up now. So it's pretty much a clean spike for them to go through now. And you have Edge of Extinction, you got Bonds up, you got Monk's Seed of Life in, and then the tank, the damage Mesmers, Ellie's, Necros, Dervish's Spike. So now I just type run. Everybody knows what to do, but you're as a tank, you still want to do that. So I'm going to stop talking for about a minute. That way I can get a little bit of breath and y'all can see what I'm doing here. All I'm going to do is just go in and go to the gate lock and left and right side. I first start on the right and then the left. Make sure you have recall here. Or you can hard a shadow down like I did. Versus plants is usually for wardens. That's why I have it. It's not required. That's just what I run. So you have wolves that spawn here. They got aggro. It's okay. The biggest thing here is don't run past these flames until the group comes up. Tanking is always probably required to watch others do first. You can't go in Urgoz without knowing the map. You need to do at least 5 to 10 runs as a damage roll or a monk or bonder before you tank. I would recommend going bonder. That way you're already following the tank pretty much where it goes. So another key tip I didn't mention, ensure your bonder, life bonder is maintained within your aggro bubble. Otherwise you will break aggro and lose bonds. So here I just dash back. A lot of tanks don't use dash. I use dash just because of time management. Throughout a run, you'll save about 1 to 2 minutes just by using dash instead of cupcake only to get ahead. So here, I don't have enough energy, so I'm going to go ahead and pop my recall with a staff. That way I have the energy to catch up. So I use Armor of Earth and Shadow. I don't need to cast everything because it's already up. Now I just go in and I draw a line. So for here, this is not the safest way if you have new people, but this is the fastest, is recall your bonder, and then you can go ahead and pull aggro. Pull it back, and then they run, just like that. So they should run in the midst. All right, then see, that worked. There's a few stagglers here, but that's how it works. You pull them back to that gateway and then recall out before that gate closes. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and run up while this team waits. All you do here is just maintain shadow form and then run up. I don't have Armor of Earth, so I have to walk backwards. All right, we're out of the exhaustion area room now, so now we're good to go. I'm not. I usually would keep moving, but I got stuck, so we're just gonna call spikes here. Usually you would move forward here if you were really good at it, and you just keep going. And you got two more groups. Sorry, I put a line and I was supposed to not do that. So we got this group that spawns over here somewhere, and then you have another group that spawns up here somewhere. Basically, you need to ensure all of them are spawned. See, there was one in the back. That's why I death charged. Make sure EOE's up, and we can spike. I always type EOE throughout the run just so it's user friendly for the RIT or Ranger to know, hey, we need it, because I didn't see it. So now with this group, there's nothing you can do about it. It spawns 90% of the time. So you don't need to do anything there. Just let them kill. And it was bad timing. I should have ran ahead, but the gate blocked me. Now I just death charge this area. There's another group. Oh, they got aggroed. It's okay. So they got aggroed. That doesn't always happen. Anyway, issues happen. The main goal is the tank is always up front. So my pecans run out, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some new ones. Gave me an extra 20 energy, 100 health, and one to every attribute. Looking good so far. Now all I'm doing is just chilling here waiting. There they spike, so I run forward. A good tank can communicate with the team through TeamSpeak or Team Chat as well as they group up the enemies. That way they know exactly when to spike, and then they're going to go ahead. You call target. You spam on the target in order for them to know to spike the whole run pretty much. So that group of wolves, there should be one more group right here. Yep. So this group usually causes aggro from others, but it should be fine. So now that we're waiting, go ahead and recall the bonder again. The reason I say recall the bonder is because the bonder should not lose your range ever. You're going to need to recall glitch these wolves up ahead for the team to run by. This is a casual full clear tanking under 30 minutes. So there shouldn't be any issue here. So see, there's wolves spawning right now. They're going to spawn here. So I just type run. That way the team knows, hey, you're good to run. Hug the group wall, something like that. And then just run on. And now see how the gate's open? I'm looking over to the left. Gate's open. So I recall out past the gate. If the gate was closed and you recall out, then you'll just have to wait for the gate to open. Right there where I just drew a line. All right, so I'm a little behind. I'm talking too much. But I like to give you a good commentary of every area. That way, when you go and do it yourself, if you're trying to learn to do that, otherwise, it's just for fun to watch this video, maybe. But anyway, be sure just to subscribe if you haven't and give it a thumbs up if you think I did a good job teaching. We're about halfway through already, and we're at 12 minutes. The competitive area is up ahead, so don't bear with it. Could go worse. There's two groups here that spawn. So usually aggro, see half the group aggroed, it's okay. But these two groups, if you just saw where I was running, the spawns are right here where I'm circling. Uno and dos, 1 and 2 right there and there. Only two groups spawn. One group spawns in the front, and then one group spawns in the back after that group dies. So you might be wondering, hey, is that group gonna spawn at the same time? Nope. So I'm just making sure that somebody stays back for this run. If everybody's forward, then there's a spawn that groups up here. Like 50 enemies would be in this room if not one person stayed back. So as a tank, I always ensure, hey, is somebody going to stay back? Otherwise, we're going to have an issue, if that makes sense. So, all right, so I just did a little Haas trick, Heart of Shadow. So all you got to do is make sure someone's in the middle of the bridge, and then you go a parallel 90 degrees from them, and then you just Heart of Shadow back. Backtrack the video if you're really wanting to know. Make sure they kill that bark so it's a little easier at the end, which they did. All right. We're going a little fast paced for some of you learners. I'm sorry, but this is what a really good run looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and recall the bonder. I cast Shroud and Armor. Usually you cast your ones that last the longest first for these areas just because you're going to want to cast them again later, but Shadow Form recharges a lot faster, doesn't last as long as Armor, so I use dash to speed up again. All right, I went to the left side first. I went ahead and popped that group. I popped I'm Unstoppable the moment they start attacking. I got that group, maintain armor of earth, ensure you have a cupcake, and then you have to shadow form properly with I am unstoppable, not to get erupted. Now I'm going to pick up this group back here, not breaking aggro. I picked that group up. Now I'm about to death charge to the brambles right now. Yep. Okay. I death charge the brambles. You don't always have to death charge the brambles. It can be any target, but the brambles gets that group right there. See how it ran to me? That group got spawned. That's exactly what I wanted. So now I'm going to hard a shadow off of an enemy. That way I'm not stuck, basically. And I'm outside of exhaustion. Where I'm drawing a line is exhaustion, so you got to stay behind that line. Otherwise, you're going to have exhaustion in this area. And you want to make sure you're in the safe zone. This is the safe zone for anybody new that has no idea. There's exhaustion in this room. If you do other runs as a damage or monk, you'll notice you get exhausted. So now we're in the safe zone. Let me go ahead and get this group up here, and I have every group. This is a pro poll. Hopefully I don't die. I shouldn't. But this is what you do if you're really pro and you do all groups at once. So this is not recommended for a new tank because if you die, then you're in trouble. Somebody just said don't die. So I'm going to go ahead and group them all up. I'm walking backwards, not to break aggro. And then I'm going to death charge one group. See how I've got it targeted? I'm ready to death charge. I'm waiting on it to recharge. All right. Now I need a death charge, but I had misclicked target. So I just went for middle group. So I just went for somewhere. I typed off damage because I had to spam it because there's so much dropping. So see how my energy went down just like that, not focusing, typing on the targets, not talking to you guys. Basically, see how it worked out? The exhaustion killed my energy there. That's why you don't cast in that area. And that's how you do it. My groups weren't perfect, but we have Edge of Extinction and off damage, so it worked out perfect. Now, do not cast anything in this area besides Shadow Form and I am Unstoppable, like non-spells. Because if you look, while an area, you're affected with Overcast, which kills your energy. So here, you're going to go ahead and Death Charge up, closest target, and then let them do their thing. And then the bark will run up. Usually you got to get 50% HP on the brushes before a bark runs up. So go ahead and kill the bark is what I call to them. Haven't really seen any chests this run. Sometimes you'll get 3 or 4 chests. Sometimes you'll get 1 or none. We're having a little hiccup here. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of funny. Oh crap, we need to be careful. Edge of Extinction is going to hurt us. Alright. Anyway, we're okay. Just keep killing, guys. This doesn't always happen, but a lot of people got probably energy drained spiking, so they don't have all the energy to kill these. So, all right, looks like we're safe, and they're killing them now. I'm just telling the bonder I'm going to go in fast. That way he knows that I'm going to go all the way into the area, so he stays in range. So I'm telling them to kill the serpent because they're holding up time. This gate will not open without serpent clear. See how my earth is 13 and everything else is +2. So I'm also weakened, so I lose 1. So normally 14 earth. So that gives me a little bit of a faster motion and a little more armor. You really don't need pecans besides a cupcake. A cupcake is required though, like minimal, you have to. All right, go ahead and recall your bonder. And this is a big group. I'm going to show you the whole poll again. So what I do first is just run up. I death charge up, and I move into the area, ensuring I have I am unstoppable when I cast Shadow Form. If I don't, then I'll die. So all I do is pull all 4 groups in these 4 corners. There's a group in each corner, so you need to maintain all your enchantments to not die. and if you're able to, a spear shield set. Preferred plants. See, I had recall for a reason. Bonder ran out of range, so I have to redo. But see, it's better safe than losing bonds. That's why you recall. I'm glad that actually happened once in this video. That way you guys can see, hey, this is why you recall the whole run. That way you don't ever lose aggro of the bonder. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Once again, thanks for watching. This is Legit from Reborn. Reborn from Legit, either way. And hope y'all enjoy this video. If y'all have any ideas for other videos that I make in the future, just let me know and I'll be able to share my experience and knowledge with you guys, or get to somebody that knows it that I might not. So as you can see now, I'm pulling the groups back. I got back to my area. I was giving you a little promo. Anyway, so now I'm pretty much hugging this left corner, and I'm ensuring I have all 4 corner groups with me walking backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and do a pro spike area. So I'm going to death charge into the group. All right, so I got it grouped up. I got everything grouped up. EOE is in range. Panic is up. Perfect for the derbs. There we go. So y'all get to see a pro spike. So if y'all feel good as a tank, when you see that, you should feel good. You should say, good job, team, because the fact that that doesn't always happen. You have a good damage team and a good monk healing seed if you have something like that, because you don't always see the spike well. Most of the time, bad teams or even good teams sometimes they end up getting erupted and wiped. Not killed like death everybody, but like have to redo. Or you could do safe way. You can always just say, hey, I don't feel like death charging. You don't want to mess up. So just stand right where I'm standing. Stand right where I'm standing and just call target, and they'll run up and kill you and try to kill the others. So now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the serpent. We need to kill the serpent. You don't have to kill the rest of the enemies. The main goal is to kill all the wardens, and then we're safe. All right, so I still have recall. Even though I don't need it right now, I have it because it gives me an extra, if you read Shadow Form, it gives you an extra gain of 5 damage reduction for each assassin enchantment. So I have an assassin enchantment from recall. That's another bonus, so why not keep it on there? But just in case you lose bonds or there's an issue. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show y'all next step. I death charge and then walk backwards. I pretty much break aggro from the bloods. That should work. Yep, ensure they don't aggro the wolves. That way they kill only the bloods. If you aggro the wolves, it's fine. We just have to kill them, but there's 8 that spawn when you kill these 4. So I'm just saying not to kill the wolves for the damage team. So I'm going to have a quiet moment for a minute, and we're going to go ahead and enjoy this. Just me chilling here, maintaining my stuff. Basically, leeching faction and drops now while I'm just holding the wolves while they do their part. So just maintain all your enchantments and you should be fine. Once again, I'm the Reborn Monk, the Reborn Sin. If y'all are interested in joining Legit, if you're not already with us, just feel free to comment your in-game name or message me in-game or find someone in Camanon with a Legit badge, and we're welcome to invite y'all. So now I'm still just here waiting for the team to clear all the bloods. If that bonder dies, we might be in trouble, so we need to be careful if the bonder didn't die. Another thing you got to do sometimes, guys and girls, is to ensure that you have your bonds in range and are not out. If your bonder dies or if you lose life bond, either way, you'll know either way. You need to pretty much be careful with your tanking skills because it's hard to tank these wolves when you don't have life bond. So you can do it if you have a shield and spear. You just need to keep death charging and heart of shadowing if you're running my build. You're able to modify it. You're able to modify heart of shadow and dash with whatever you want. Even death charge you can modify to other stuff, but I mean, this has worked best for me and most efficient because dash gives me that extra speed boost when I need it, and I don't need any extra armor skills or damage, so this is working great. So I'm just saying no aggro wolves, please, and kill them. So I'm basically hugging this corner area, waiting on them to kill the wolves. We are at 25 minutes, and we got about TA, estimated arrival, TA of 3 to 4 minutes to finish this run if everything goes well. So a subcon run, like I told y'all, casual, full clear, with one little hiccup, two little hiccups maybe, but they weren't major hiccups. So I haven't died, so that's a good thing. I'm still in this area. This is all you do is you stay in this area, you watch your team. Now, what happens if they aggro the wolves? That's a question you're going to have when you tank. Most likely they'll aggro a derv like this one's pretty close. What you do if they aggro the wolves? So what I do is I just recall out. I mean, there's nothing you can do. If they aggro the wolves, then you go ahead and recall out and get out of there. You don't want to die. And if you can afford, have res scrolls because you won't die, but others will with wolves coming, and you should be safe to always have them with you, at least 5 or 10. I haven't used any because we have a good team plus monks, but you'll get those teams where you're tanking and you don't have good damage support in your tanking. You might do your part as I'm showing in the video, but you aren't going to do your part for the actual team of them helping you. All right, so here all I'm going to do is group these up. I usually just Heart of Shadow or Death Charge, just toy with it, and just call target. I mean, see the thorns are over here. You'll be okay without them. So we're at 26 minutes, and we're about to kill Urgoz. So record run doing this casual with a pro team like this, a little bit faster, no errors. You can make it at 19 to 21 minutes. Yes, 19 to 21 would be your fastest with this type of clear. So good luck, and let's see how this goes for the team. They just go in. I'm just going to chill back now. So I'm going to go ahead and do some dance moves, waiting on you guys. Feel free to let me know if you'll have any ideas, suggestions, questions regarding Urgoz tanking with this video. And once again, be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and let me know if y'all have any issues regarding the tanking if I haven't made anything pointed out clearly as needed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and end it at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.